Greetings, fellow Christian sisters and brothers. Welcome to this virtual fall session of the Congress of Christian Education. Our course is titled Computers and Technology, Our Friends in Ministry. My name is Yolanda Johnson. I am a native of Greenville, Mississippi. I am a member of Mount Horeb Missionary Baptist Church in Greenville, Mississippi, under the leadership of Dr. Albert Calvin, Jr., who is our pastor and teacher. I am a graduate of Alcorn State University, Mississippi Valley State University, Arkansas State University, and I am currently enrolled in the doctorate program at William Carey University. So as you can see, I am an educator, and I am currently an administrator with 22 years in education. My hobbies include silently helping others, bullet journaling, solving puzzles, and tinkering with technology. Our goals for this course: to understand the importance of the computer in today's church, to utilize a computer or device in the worship experience, to empower students to use their smart devices, phone, iPad, tablet, and/or computer in their study of God's Word. The recommended text for this course is 40 Days and 40 Bytes, Making Computers Work for Your Congregation. This book is authored by Aaron Spiegel, Nancy Armstrong, and Brent Beal. The textbook is currently around $23 on Amazon.com. Let's take a quick look inside the textbook. Chapters included are learning basic computer lingo, a software review, general business software and congregations, congregational management software, worship and education software, networks and the internet, creating a technology team, designing and assembling your hardware and software, protecting your congregation's systems, and the future of congregational computing. While we won't go through the book page by page, we will discuss the contents during this presentation. As we begin, let's look at two congregations and their use of technology. A tale of two congregations. Our first congregation is Peaceful Grove Presbyterian Church. This is a small, rural congregation. They currently only have one old computer and inkjet printer. The pastor and the church secretary share this same computer. As their congregation began to slowly grow, they assembled a computer technology team. They realized the potential of technology in their growing church. Money was not always available, so the team started with the basics and created a small network. The tech team worked together to decide on purchases, and they also established a long-term plan that included a technology component. On the other side, we have St. James Church. This is a large church with a rich history in the community. Many wealthy city leaders are members at St. James Church. When they built or bought something, it was first class. They bought the latest, most expensive database and software. They thought that computers and databases was administrative work, so they only trained 2 people. Although 2 people were trained, only one person ran the system. And this began to be tiresome for that one person. St. James Church, again with its wealthy members, did not consider cost of maintenance and upkeep. This ended up costing them more in the long run than if they had kept the system up to date. So now we've looked at Peaceful Grove Presbyterian Church and we've looked at St. James Church. Take about 3 minutes to jot down some advantages and disadvantages that you can foresee using this information. All right, our time is about up. So as we go through the presentation, you would kind of see some of the advantages and disadvantages of this information. Getting to know your device. As you get to know your device, there is some terminology that you should be familiar with. We're going to take about 3 minutes to complete the matching activity on the next slide. Are you ready? Let's get set and go. Take 3 minutes to do your best on this matching activity. All right, our time is up. Get your smiley face stickers ready because I know you are going to make 100. Here are the answers. Number 1, software, H. Number 2, hardware, I. Number 3, network, F. Number 4, CPU, is J. Number 5, email, is C. Number 6, internet, is D. Number 7, computer virus, is G. Number 8, homepage, is A. Number 9, social media, is B. And number 10, database, is E. How did you do? I know you made 100. Now, let's look at some other tips about computers, our friends in ministry. Using computers in your ministry will give you a chance to get a wider reach. Communications travel faster, thus reaching more people, wider reach. Number 2, cultural relevance. Meet people where they are in a way that's convenient to them. Sometimes you can subtly draw in new members by sharing live streams of your service or simply texting sermon notes to a friend. This may be where they are on their own personal Christian journey. Meet them where they are in a way that's convenient to them. Number 3, increased productivity. Streamline the work of church office staff. With church management systems, record keeping can be a breeze. Number 4, better stewardship. By making certain resources digital, churches can avoid costs associated with printing out bulletins, printing out song lyrics, or event flyers, providing you with a better opportunity for stewardship. Number 5, greater engagement. We live in a mobile world. Being more technologically savvy helps churches stay more connected and more engaged with their people. Now that we have established that computers and technology are our friends in ministry, let's look at some tips that we need to remember. Be careful. Donated items may cost you more than you expect. Sometimes the church needs to just say no to free stuff. Old computers are slow and break down more often, so there will be decreased productivity and increased frustration for your church staff. Our next tip, store data in a central location. Have one central location where all your data, documentation, and passwords are located. The new person coming on board will be very grateful that you have that information stored in one easily accessible place. Bring in a pro. God bless our volunteers, but sometimes waiting for Chuck to get off work and come fix the secretary's printing issue isn't the best way to go. Money invested in a good IT person is usually returned in productivity and reduced stress levels of staff. Some providers even offer discount rates for churches, so don't be afraid to ask. Keep it simple. This one may be a little tricky if no one on staff has at least a decent level of computer network knowledge. It may take even a second opinion when hiring an IT provider to do a major upgrade, but you want to make sure that you get the end result that will be easiest to maintain while still providing for your needs. Our next tip: utilize Office 365 for free. Most people are familiar with the Microsoft Office suite of products, such as Microsoft Word, Excel, or Outlook. Microsoft offers a new service called Office 365. This is a subscription service that provides email hosting and is free for non-profit organizations. Our next tip: you want to maintain control of the network. This is another one that can sometimes be tricky, especially for small churches that are primarily volunteer-led. I'm referring to outside computers coming and going from the network with no controls over viruses and malware. Good protection in this case is going to be vital. Letting everyone use their personal computers causes major weaknesses in the security of your network. Also, provide wireless networks with guest access features. So if you're going to use a network, set up a guest access password for people that want to use their personal devices. This will minimize access to the real network and protect your data. Our next tip: budget a replacement plan. Just like accepting old donated computers can be costly, letting your computers become old, outdated units yields the same results. Be sure to update those computers, and a little at a time is much less painful. Plan on a 5-year turnover, and the cost per year goes down to something very manageable. So make sure you budget for replacements. Our final friendly tip: back it up. Don't lose all your media, graphics, emails, sermons, notes, records. Don't lose your data. Make sure to get a good backup plan in place. The easiest to manage now are online cloud backup services, and many are very affordable. Good services also exist for churches that have more data and more complicated storage needs, but you definitely need to back up your data. Data is not always lost just because of hard drive issues. Make sure that your church office, that your church building is secure as well. As we come to the close of this presentation, don't let these things intimidate you. Stop, take a deep breath, and pray that God will bring the right person to help you and the church, so that you can be a good steward of your resources dedicated to computers and technology, our friends in ministry.